Hello, hello, hello. It's Jennifer with English Outside the Box, and welcome back to video number 3, talking about how your goals equal your strategy. In the first video, I talked a little bit about, is learning with me, Jennifer, right for you? Talked a little bit about how it's a mistake to be focusing on fluency. I talked a little bit about the hamster wheel of learning, and I told you most likely the reason why you're feeling stuck and not progressing to the level that you want to have and speak the way that you want to speak. I also talked a little bit about having you think about some questions to see if learning with me is right for you. And then you thought yes, because here you are watching the next video. In video number 2, we talked about how to eliminate fear and build confidence. And I talked a little bit about how I am qualified and certified to support you in doing this. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about your goals and how they are so important when it comes to you progressing, you improving, and you creating the strategy and the plan to help you do that, to help you improve. I like to help my students improve more quickly and much more effectively. It's not about taking English classes for 1 year before you can feel confident enough to speak. I've had students like Rafa feel confident in as little as 3 weeks of studying with me. I've had people get job offers within a month or 2 months of studying with me. My students have made phenomenal progress because, again, I focus on more than just the English skills. I support with the mindset in English and supporting you with eliminating fears, building confidence, and understanding what's going on inside that's affecting your progress and, most importantly, your confidence. So when we talk about goals, most people say, my goal is to speak English. My goal is to be fluent. My goal is to speak like a native speaker. My goal is to get a job. These are all really, well, some of these are good goals. Getting a job is a great goal. And some of these goals are, frankly, awful, like becoming fluent. And I've already talked about that. However, goals like I want to speak better English, or goals like I want to have easier conversations, those can kind of be challenging because they're very broad. They're not very specific. What does it mean you want to speak English? As an example, where do you want to speak it? How do you want to speak it? At what confidence level do you want to speak it, right? You might have the ability and the skills to speak, but if you lack the confidence, you're probably not going to speak. So there's a misalignment there that you need to address. First, you need to recognize, and then you need to overcome. And here's the thing. Most students want to speak better because they want to use their English and live their life using English as they do in their native language. They want to work, live, travel, have relationships, friendships, interact with family and friends. Most people want to be able to speak English who are studying English. Most people studying any language want to be able to communicate in that language. And I know you are no different. So most students who come to me say, I want to speak better English. And I say, great. First, let's talk about what you're currently doing now to reach that goal. And most people will say they're reading books, they're reading magazines, they are listening to podcasts, they're watching YouTube, they're watching Instagram, they're watching TV shows, they're listening to music. And I say, great. These are all really great things to improve your general English skills. Listening to podcasts is great to improve your listening. Reading books is great to improve your reading. Watching YouTube videos is really great to practice listening and learn some new skills. But each of those things don't have a direct effect on speaking. And students wonder, why am I not improving when I'm doing all of these things? Sometimes, maybe you're studying for an hour every day doing these things. Podcasts, YouTube videos, exercises, grammar books, vocabulary building, pronunciation practice. You're doing all of these things and you're still feeling like you can't communicate. You can't speak. Well, the problem is in your strategy and your goal. Likely your goal is not in alignment with your strategy the two things are not working together to build on your progress and improve your ability to communicate in English. And while doing those things, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos and Instagram, reading books, watching TV shows, listening to music, all of these things are great. They will have an indirect effect on speaking, an indirect effect. It will help with speaking in certain ways, improving certain skills that support your general English abilities. However, as I mentioned, if you want to be speaking in English, if you're not actually doing the practice of speaking English, you can see where there is a big problem and misalignment with your goal and your strategy. So my goal with my students and this English success system and the programs that I teach is to make sure that your goal is in alignment with the strategy, what you're doing, what you're studying, and how you are working to improve your English. So that's what I want you to think about and what I want you to take away from this video today. Are your goals in alignment with your study strategy? Specifically, are you making the mistake, number one, of having your focus on fluency? If you are, scratch that, stop. You need to get more specific on your goal. Next, is it specific enough? Is it specific enough that you can break it down into step-by-steps to create the strategy to make progress and feel improvement? And then finally, when you identify, yes, my goal is specific enough, it's not focusing on fluency, is your strategy and what you're doing aligning with your goals? Is your strategy supporting your goals? Again, is what you're studying and how you're studying directly affecting and improving the goals that you have in English? This is an exercise that you can do really easily on your own, bringing some awareness and thought to yourself, your goals, and what you're currently doing. Take a second to write it down. Make a list, write down in one column the things that you're doing, and then draw an arrow and say, what is that directly helping? For example, listening to podcasts has a direct effect of improving your listening. Listening to music has a direct effect of listening and learning new vocabulary, maybe, depending on what or how you're using music to learn. So this is a really great exercise to understand kind of where you're at, what you're doing, and what you are learning and supporting in your skills. Something that, of course, you can do on your own. However, if you're wanting more support, then joining the English Success System and coming into my program is going to be a way that you can work directly with me inside my program to do the trainings on goals and do the trainings and workbook exercises, self-study exercises, and work to identify this with some support. So if the support is what you're lacking, then go ahead and click the button to sign up and enroll in the program now, or let me know if you have any questions about this video. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video where we're going to be talking about the final step you need to make sure you are doing to get the improvement you're looking for, to reach the big opportunities you're hoping for, and to finally feel confidence and abilities to have conversation in English and live as freely as you do in your native language. I hope to see you in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon.